New Zealand is a good country. There is much to be appreciated. There is much to be thankful for. But New Zealand has the potential to be more than just a decent place to live. New Zealand has the potential to be a great country. New Zealand is a good place, but it can be better. And that the people of this country deserve better is something no honest person can deny. It is time for bold political reform. We must embrace a strong constitution. Only this can protect the rights of the people and limit the power of the state. The state is a dangerous institution. We must not wait to learn that reality the hard way. We must introduce a supreme and entrenched constitution that establishes the structure of the state and the rights of the people. We must pursue a more democratic society. We must seek to fully embody the great democratic maxim of government by and for the people. We must introduce preferential voting. We must lower the electoral threshold. Such electoral reforms would empower third parties. This will give voters more choice and enrich our democracy. This will encourage the major parties to be more competitive. This will reduce destructive perceptions of powerlessness. We must grant all citizens and permanent residents the right to vote, including the prisoners, regardless of their crimes. The right to vote is not a privilege. The right to vote is not a reward for good behaviour. The right to vote is a fundamental democratic right, and we will treat it as such. We must make citizen-initiated referenda binding. If the people initiate a referendum, the government must be obligated to act in accordance with the result. The will of the people is not a suggestion. The will of the people is a command. The representatives would be wise to remember that they do not rule the people. They serve the people. Big money political donations should be banned. This would prevent big money interests from manipulating electoral outcomes. This would remove the incentive to serve the wealthy first and foremost. This would crush corruption. Donations fund advertising, and advertising wins votes. The wealthy should not be allowed to pour their wealth on the scales to dictate an election result. Big money political donations should be banned. It is these policies that will deliver a revitalized democracy. An even better democracy. A great democracy. A government by and for the people in its highest form. A political order where ordinary people are more powerful than ever before. This is the framework towards a superior political order and a great country. And then there is foreign policy. We must seek to overcome economic dependence. Economic reliance on other states undermines our capacity to defend our values. We must seek to be an unconstrained moral force in the international realm. We must pursue economic independence and the power that comes with it. We must seek to become an unrestrained moral force. A country that does not hesitate to promote its values. A country that does not sit by in silence as evil occurs. Intelligent governance that pursues economic independence can make this vision a reality. And then there is the economy. Our society will never be great until it has been subject to massive economic reform. The economy is rife with injustice and idiocy. That can change and should change. We have a government by and for the people. We need an economy by and for the workers. The working people are the foundation of the economy. The working people make society possible. For far too long, the working people have been rewarded with nothing but contempt, subjugation, oppression, and exploitation. A society that despises its own foundation is a sick society. A healthy society takes good care of its foundation. And so it becomes a necessity that we move towards an economy by and for the workers. A radical shift in the power relations of the economy. Step 1 is simple. Introduce a tax-free threshold to ease the tax burden on working people. Introduce a significantly higher minimum wage to ensure that workers get a larger share of the wealth they create. Introduce trade union empowering legislation to reduce the terrible power imbalance between employers and employees. Workers should not exist at the mercy of their employers. Trade unions ensure that they do not. This is the first step towards an economic order that treats workers with a basic level of respect. And this is not done out of mindless charity or sheer pity. This is done out of a recognition of simple realities. Working people make society possible. Hard work should be rewarded. Working people are the foundation of the economy. A society that does not take good care of its foundation is a failing society. And that brings us to the next step of pro-worker politics. A 4-day work week. In an age of massive technological advancement and revolutionary labour-saving devices, it is madness that the work week remains stagnant. Give workers more time to rest, and they will have more energy. They will work harder, they will work smarter, and productivity will increase. We have taken a flawed economic view, a view that assumes all time spent away from work is unproductive time. This has been one of our great mistakes. Free time is not wasted time. Many workers will use their free time to perform socially and economically productive tasks. They will look after their mental and physical health. They will acquire new knowledge and develop new skills. They will develop stronger social connections and spend time with their loved ones. They will pursue meaning and purpose. They will contribute to their communities. They will start families. They will create things and start businesses. Free time is not economic dead weight. It is crucial to a functioning society. And then there is the ultimate pro-worker policy, a transition towards worker-owned and operated business models. A transition towards a business model defined by shared profits and democratic control. A transition towards a market economy where private companies are managed like democracies, not dictatorships. Such a thing would get more minds involved in the economy. Such a thing would encourage hard work by giving workers access to profits. Such a thing would reduce degrading perceptions of powerlessness. It is an absurdity that we consider democracy to be a high value while accepting dictatorial conditions at work. Only a democratic workplace will serve the interests of the workers first and foremost. A democratic workplace would reduce power imbalances and economic inequalities. A democratic workplace would make the worker a valued, meaningful component of the firm as opposed to just another cog in the machine. Such a thing is empowering. It encourages people to take a more active role in society. It discourages the society-damaging apathy that is born from subjugation. Those who control businesses will only serve the interests of working people if they are accountable to working people. In the world where the economic elite make increasingly influential and powerful decisions, we cannot afford to let them maintain their unelected and unaccountable status. They must be made accountable to ordinary people. The economy must be democratized. Only then will it be encouraged to serve the interests of the working people who make it possible. We have a government by and for the people. We must have an economy by and for the workers. An economy that takes good care of its foundation is a strong economy. An economy defined by class conflict will never unlock its true potential. An economy that treats the working people who are its foundation with contempt will never achieve its full potential. It is time to create a society that does not look down upon and despise the working people who make it possible. We must pursue a democratic economy. The state must create financial incentives for such firms. Subsidies, tax cuts, preferential contracts, low-interest loans. The incentives must gradually be made stronger and stronger until the entire economy is democratized. That is what we must do. That is part of the pathway towards a better New Zealand. A New Zealand that leads the world with bold, rational reform. With the right policies, even a small country can be a great country. An inspiration, a role model for all of the world. The potential for a great New Zealand is in our grasp. We just have to reach out and embrace it.